Okay, this isn't a real podcast. I'll upload this to YouTube. Because as you know, the old captain, he is in South Dakota finishing off the house. And I did a road trip podcast. He said, I didn't know, I thought you had Good Morning Corona Chan, the older brother podcast, and the Clarey podcast. And I do, but I have a fourth podcast with the same regular timing as the other three, called the Road Trip Podcast, and I put that up there for my Subscribe Star listeners. So I think I'm up to maybe 30 episodes. Whenever I go on a road trip, sometimes I hike, I'll do a podcast for them. And between the house and everything, I kind of intended, like doing your homework or going to church, I kind of intended to do a Clarey podcast. But the work has been too much. The mental stress has been pretty bad. And I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. And I am taking a more serious route that self-care is not a luxury. And so I've been going on hikes. And yesterday I went on a hike. Athlete could look it up. Little Ann Falls or Annie Falls. And it is a stream that flows into the Spearfish River or creek in the Spearfish Canyon. And what was great about this hike is on the map it only shows one trail, but after you hike about 2 miles in, there's all these other trails that split off for it. And I didn't, this isn't in the hiking books, this isn't in the hiking trails, this is like, Google. You search, okay, hiking trail near Cheyenne Crossing, because I'm kind of in the northern Black Hills. And all of a sudden it opened me up to this entire network of trails. And so yesterday, I always took the right trail. So if it split, I go right. I ended up hiking almost all the way to Terry Peak, which is the second highest summit in the Black Hills. And it has a sledding hill on it, ski hill. And to its west is a rather large mining operation called Trojan. Now, I had driven out there before. After I got on top of this other peak, it wasn't Terry Peak, but a peak surrounding it, also I started seeing houses. I'm like, holy cow, did I hike almost all the way to where I drove? And I looked at them, sure enough, I did. And so it's kind of cool when you cut through an entire swath of wilderness to come back out on civilization. Now, I probably could have done it, but I was looking around. There's actually a fair amount of houses and private property. I didn't want to be shucking through somebody's backyard. But today, we're going to take the second right, the one that I did not go down. And I looked at the Google map last night, and this trail actually looks like it goes to a road and hooks up, and that road hooks up to the mine. And I was like, oh boy. And I could get to I'm sure you can't trespass on the mine, but I can hike to the mine. Now, close-minded people, the anti-fun people, the people who may not as well be alive, always go, why do you want to climb the mountain? Why do you want to go up to the peak? Why do you want to climb that cliff? Big deal, you hike to a mine. It's like, what happened to the Goonie spirit within all you? Were you guys kids at one time? Didn't you want to go on some adventure? And how many of you have hiked to a mine? I've hiked to several mines. One of which, of course, being a dedicated path that goes to the gold mine in Lead, which is the sister city of Deadwood, not too far away from here. But I've never understood that, what's the word? The stupidity of such a question? Why do you want to climb that? The question is, why don't you want to climb that? Don't you want to have the adventure and get the exercise and then say you were able to climb that peak? And not to mention look down below and see all the cool stuff in a vista. I mean, look, all you've seen in your life has been traffic jams, interstates, gridded roads, and strip malls, gas stations, fast food restaurants, and if it gets really exciting, commercial below, residential condos above. Whoa, it's 2003 again. I know if I didn't get pissed off at the people asking that question, but it's such a depressing question. Because you look at them, I'm like, okay, what, can you people just wear a shirt or get a tattoo or carry a scarlet letter around with you so I know not to even bother with you people? Like, is there that few people that enjoy hiking? It doesn't have to be hiking, but why do you climb the top of the mountain? Why do you do that? So there's so few people that want to do it apparently, but then there's so many who don't, and they lack the vision or the appreciation of life, or more importantly, maybe the appreciation that you're gonna die and death is coming. I've never, like, why don't you want to climb it? Why do you want to not climb? What are you waiting for? You don't have to wait for death. You just have to get older, out of shape. Then you're not climbing any mountains for the rest of your life. And the only thing I'm pissed off right now, I'm annoyed with, is that this trail has a 2-mile stretch that I've already hiked 3 times. This is my 3rd time now that I've seen it already before. And I got to hike a little bit in to get to the spur of the trail that I didn't hike before. Why do you want to go there? Because I've not been. Why do you want to do that? Because I haven't done it before. What's up at the top of the mountain? Some amazing views. And the struggle to get there and the struggle to get back down. I don't understand it. I just don't understand the lack of not just life, but the appreciation for life, the vigor, the love, the passion for life. Not to sound like some pansy chakra crystal. You're gonna get in touch with your inner. Those are people who just don't want to work hard and find the religion. But man, how can you not want to take this life you got? And all right, we're gonna take this puppy to the moon. We're gonna try. Let's get this fucker rolling. Let's go. Let's see what she's got. Whatever strengths and weaknesses you may have been born with, but my God, why don't you people capitalize on it? And I've relegated. I've resigned. I resign myself to the fact that loosen this up. Hang on. I've already lost. I bought some new hiking shorts, and they fit when I first put them on 3 days ago. I think I've already lost half an inch because they're starting to droop. So I had to put a belt on, but it's a little tight, so I had to put on the next notch. What was I talking about? Just the fact that no one seems to realize they're alive. And they're not even capable of regrets because they've never done anything. And to be so unexcited about life and the unknown and adventure. That when you, hey, you want to go hike? No. No, I've resigned. And that's what I've resigned myself to the fact that there's just not that many people. Not that many people are going to want to do this. I'm the weirdo. I'm the crazy guy who wants to go. TJ Martinell, I guarantee you, I'm going to have to send this to TJ Martinell. He totally gets it. He has posted some amazing pictures of some amazing hikes over in the Cascades. And I won't lie, the Cascades are prettier than the Black Hills. There's some beautiful parts of the Black Hills, but the Cascades are just all that more jagged, and they got more snow cover, a lot more lakes. I've hiked up there, beautiful. Man, TJ will come out and post some amazing photographs. Just him and Reese hiking. Just some amazing photographs. And there he is up in Leavenworth, bored out of his freaking mind. Guy knows exactly what life is all about. But then, good luck finding anyone else in that area to do the same. How many TJ Martinells are there in the Seattle area, huh? How many people moved off to a cabin in the woods and did the hiking and adventuring and capitalize on? I know I don't mean to sound like he's a pansy, he's not, but he is lonely because he's peerless in both social and romantic. Well, you guys are all peerless in terms of romantic. I'm terribly sorry the girls just aren't there for you in the volume needed. He's usually hiking by himself. Very few people could keep up with him. I don't even know if I could keep up with him. We did a hike and I kept up with him just fine, but that was 4 years ago. And that kid he does hikes, man. He does not fuck around. So I'm sure his cardio, plus he's lived at a higher altitude for longer than I have, so I'm sure he could beat me now. But, in other words, why does the majority of people have to fucking suck so much and be so fucking lame? Why is it there's maybe one guy in each state that pulls this shit off? Maybe 3 people in Colorado. Hey, do you want to go hike? Oh, get eaten by a bear. There aren't any bears out there. Oh, I don't still have a mountain lion. There aren't any mountain lions. No, why would I go hike into the forest? I don't know, just to see what's out there. Yesterday I found an old abandoned miner's cabin with a miner shaft in its backyard. And so, before I head down to Denver, and that's my goal. Once I found out there were like 3, there's a 4th one, but that was all muddy. Because our RVs are RVs, 4-wheelers went on it, so I said, I'm not going to go that way. But this other one, looking at the map, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I want to go from road to road. I want to get to the mining service road. And people can say, oh, what did you do? I hiked all the way from Elmore to Trojan. And they're like, why'd you do that? And I'll say, never mind. Normies and conformies and inferiors don't get it. Hey, I heard there's a new zany show starring a gay character and a non-conforming girl, and it's why, and they're crazy homosexual neighbor. Look out! It's zany. What hijinks will ensue, huh? Oh, here comes a straight-laced white guy who, makes a lot of money and worked hard in it. Oh, what a square. What a dork. He's so ignorant. Oh, you go, girlfriend. You totally smoked him, referencing something that no real other culture would get, except in the small little niche culture. You used some slang that the guy from MIT, who actually pays his bills on time and didn't have more kids than he could afford, he didn't get it. You slanged him, girl, y'all. Go watch that show. Yeah, don't hike. Go watch that. Then go watch all the commercials that are political and woke. Yeah, you go do that. Then complain about it on the internet, but don't you dare go hiking. Don't you dare waste your time going up to the top of that mountain or the bottom of that canyon. And that's another thing I got to do. Oh, God, I'm so much happier out here. Minnesota is fucking cancer. So, the path starts out pretty level. It remains level. You're going a slight uphill incline, but it's pretty level. And you first start off, and the stream, Annie Creek, is, 200 feet down. There's a lookout point you could go to. It goes straight down. I'm like, whoa, look out. But then you hike, but the stream moves uphill faster, so that you're all of a sudden walking next to the stream about 2 miles in. And so I came up through Spearfish. I have to look it up. The way I came to the trail the first 2 times was from the east. So I'm going downhill. which means I didn't see where Annie Creek dumped out in the Spearfish Creek. So I came up the other way up from Spearfish, and I'm coming in from the west going uphill from the other side. I'm like, I should be able to see where Annie Creek confluences with Spearfish Creek. Couldn't find it. And I was paying attention. And so and it's a sizable creek. So I could see it right there, but I didn't see it on the road. So what do you know Cappy's got to do? Cappy's got to climb down that fucking canyon, down to Annie Little Creek, and we're going to follow that creek all the way until it hits Spearfish Canyon. And what I'm worried about is if it goes behind this other canyon or mountain range, it doesn't empty out into the Spearfish Canyon until like we're past Savoy. Like I didn't look at the topographical map, but I'm like, it's got to empty out soon. I mean, it's got to happen. And so I'm going to do that spur. Then I'm going to head back. Then I'm going to try and climb my way down into the canyon to see the falls. I'll try and get a good picture of the falls for you guys. Then I'm going to follow to where it comes out in Spearfish Canyon. And I think that'll be enough for the day. But you never know. I mean, all of a sudden it could be like, oh, there's no way you're making it down that creek, or I'll choose the wrong place to kind of insert into the canyon. And these are the same people who not only watch, hey, it's the sports talking show, guys. Look at our diverse cast of zany characters. Oh, look, the old white man with the nice hair. Here's the black guy with the nice tie and glasses to make him smart like Rachel Maddow. And what banal, pathetic analysis of some jock are they going to analyze on whether he threw the ball or, oh God, you go and get some food. I just got to get in the habit of like sitting don't sit at the bar. I know you get faster service, but you got to watch these dumb fucking washed up jocks. And it's not even, who's the best quarterback, Bart Starr or Brett Favre for the Green Bay Packers? Like one of these athletes, and you can't even blame the athletes. The athlete did something what normal every other day people do, but because he's a famous athlete, he's under the microscope. You know, and what was his name? He was goody two-shoes. Denver Broncos quarterback, Christian and everything. You know, I think he stays out of the limelight now, and the name escapes me. But he's a public figure. He's out in public. I think one time, okay, give you a perfect example. This guy was on a plane. Wife is on a plane with her husband. Husband has a heart attack. All he does is, do you want to pray? Now, the guy's Christian. She was Christian. Husband was Christian. Guy's having a heart attack. These dumbass fucking jock straps. They're not even jocks. Jocks actually indicate that you have some kind of athletic ability and you work it. These jock straps, the one that cup and suck the sweat off of the real guys' balls, would come in and analyze, what do you think about that guy praying, text in, and all the other fucking wannabe jock straps. So you got the jocks, they're the ones that actually do anything. Then you got these fucking sweaty, ball hair sucking jock straps on the television show on SportsCenter and whatnot, analyzing and then they send it out to the wannabe jock straps. That'd be your listening audience, who think they're fucking participating in something. Voting in, he shouldn't have prayed with her. He should have prayed with her. What do you think about that? You guys watch that show. You guys watch those shows while you drink your light beer. And then you're the same, well, why do you want to climb up that mountain? There's 36 cans in a case of beer. Shows you how much you know. All you fucking stupid people who might literally, I do that. I'm not saying go kill yourself. I'm not. What I'm saying is you might as well not be alive. Your lives are completely pointless. Right here, you guys can't see it. I can see the backside of the mine. I can see all the scree pile or the gravel pile, because that's not normal. That doesn't form naturally. There's no foliage on it. Jiren, Why do you want to hike to the back of an old mine out in the middle of North Dakota? Are the Indians still there? Do they got electricity? Hey, look, it's the Stanley playoffs, and they're going to analyze, should Bob have checked Frank over in the Minnesota Wild versus the Jose Sharks game? What do you think? Oh, but I'm the dumb one. Why would I want to climb that mountain? Why are you trying to go down the canyon, Clarey? I will say, though, as great as South Dakota is, man, the people are stupid. I think they got infected, not a little bit, but a lot with some Wyomingitis. People are driving slower than I remember. There is a ton of trailer trash. I went to a Flying J because I'm staying in Deadwood, house is down in Hermosa, and there's by the Harley dealership, is it a Flying J or is it a Pilot? Anyway, I had to get gas, I needed some mouthwash. So I went in there, and there's the drunk old Indian woman yelling real loud on her phone. And I couldn't tell what she was yelling at, but I could hear her yelling because I had headphones on and was listening to something else. But her loudness pierced through my headphones. And then she walked outside and was yelling on the phone. And I think she was trying to look for someone to pick her up. I couldn't tell. So there's that. And this isn't even in downtown Rapid City. This is, I guess, the burbs of Rapid City. Then, as I'm watching the yelling drunk Indian lady try and call or flag down her husband, I don't know what the hell's going on. Then I hear a guy hacking and wheezing. I look to my left. I didn't realize it. But here's this old 2003 Diamante. It's a kind of Mitsubishi. Now, admittedly, I own an old truck as well. I got a 2003 Silverado. But I don't live in it. And I look at it's one of those things. You'll see this on the Dakotas and Wyoming. People will live into their car, or they just use their car as storage. And there's a ton of boxes and clothes. And the other telltale sign, you have made it through the who dang diggly, do dang diggly doos, although this was not the case on this guy's Mitsubishi. You will see that they will have clear cellophane taped to a window that's been busted out. Then you know you've really made it to who dang digglyville. And this guy had tattoos, his arms are all wiry. Looked like he's living in his car, just all of a sudden hacking up. Sure enough, has the mustache. About the only thing that he was missing is if he had the hat from South Park that said Scotch on it. But an old man hack, and I think he was younger than me, just I'm like, what? Oh, I hope that's not thunder coming up. That would suck. There's a storm to the south that's drifting south, but so the rain is drifting north. I should probably maybe have looked at the radar before I got there. Yeah, but see, those are the type of people who live like in the mountains, who live out near the Badlands, have all this nature and beauty. What do? They go to the bar and drink, and they stay home and they watch their TV, and maybe they vote on Sports Bar, or no, not Sports Center. Well, I think Bart Starr's the better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. I'm getting me my Polaris jacket. And yes, there are the rich people too. God, I saw this Harley, very clean. And the guy left his motorcycle jacket on the handle, brand new. I'm like, oh, did you buy that, huh? Are you a Harley rider now? Huh, Herbert? Huh, Charlie? You're all official, right? Because you got that orange and black and white patch that says Harley Davidson and a motorcycle with 50 fucking miles on it. But let me guess, you're gonna drive through the mountains as long as there's a combustion engine hauling your ass up it. You the fuck if you're gonna hike them. I could be so loud because there ain't nobody on this trail. Ain't nobody around. Plus, if there were bear out here, I would not startle any of them. I did spook a buffalo, though, one time. Oh, God. That was probably, in terms of Cappy running into animals, except for the rattlesnake, that was probably the most dangerous spot I was ever in. Thankfully, they ran away. There are two of them, but the one I spooked and his buddy took off, and then he took off. And if you've not seen a buffalo up close and personal, they are very big. They're almost as big as Minnesota gals. That's... You see what I did there? Because it indicates that Minnesota women who are traditionally overweight are as overweight as a bison, a 2-ton animal. We all know the bison is a lot lighter. All right, let's see that. So there, now you can probably hear the Ant Creek. And not much further up here is going to be the trail that goes right, the one I took yesterday and almost made it to Terry Peak, or somebody's backyard. And that's another stream that comes off that. So I'm going to follow this other stream. And hopefully this will take me up to the road. It looked like a pretty clear path. Looked like a pretty clear path all the way to the road. So maybe I get to it, but you never know. There might be barbed wire, no trespassing signs, some rancher or somebody owns the property up here. And I could tell because here are the telephone poles. They look pretty new. But they go somewhere, and there were houses up there. Oh, it's really cool. I got to tell you guys this. This is really cool. So I'm up on that ridge. Oh, there's Terry Peak. I can see the radio towers. And I see these houses. And so I'm looking at the houses, and they're mostly cabins for the most part. You know, made of wood or they're painted brown. And out west, I don't know why. It looks nice, but they all have green steel roofs. So lifetime roofs, and they're green. I guess it's to make it look like the background, like the trees. Green bark and green leaves or pine cones. So one of them had a blue roof. I'm like, huh. So I took a picture of it. Had to zoom in. It was a little bit of ways away. Zoomed in, took a picture of it. And I said, okay, that's a blue roof. I should be able to spot that. You know, from Google Satellite. And so I went back to my apartment. Here, you can hear this. Hang on. Look at that. Is that nice? All right. So I went back to the hotel, and I pulled up the Googs. And I'm like, okay, there's Elmore, and there's the trail. Then the tree cover, like I was trying to figure out where I went, but there was significant tree cover, so I couldn't find him. Like, wait a minute, where's that damn blue roof? So I zoom out, there it is. And I kind of triangulated. I'm like, holy cow. I think I was only like 500 yards from a road at somebody's house. Oh boy, boys and girls. Look at this, another split in the road. One goes up. Wow. Just more adventure, guys. We're going right. Going right, because I think this is the one that goes to the mining place. Plus it follows the water. Oh, they put Property Boundary National Forest. Land Survey Monument. Oh, it's a little piece of metal in it. All right, we'll walk across the same creek again. There we go. Thankfully, I'm upstream enough and we're going up tributaries. I don't have to walk across a 12-foot flowing river. It's just little streams of rocks you can play Frogger on. Ooh, now we're going up. Anyway, so this is a long roundabout story. I have to tell you that I got up to the trailhead by coming from the other way, and I've been through that canyon 100 times before. And I'm looking, and so there's like a swath of trees that are down. And then I look, and like an entire cliffside of trees are down. And then the entire valley, all these trees are down. And I get to a town called Savoy, and up on the ridge, you see these trees just bent over. What the hell? So I'm going further and further upstream, more and more trees. And I'm looking, I'm like, man, the tornado must have hit here. Which normally doesn't happen. It normally doesn't happen. Tornadoes don't really hit the mountains, but this time it did, 2 of them, because I looked it up. Sure enough, June 14th, 2020, 2 tornadoes. I was like, holy cow. All right. Mine permit boundary. Road closed for safety purposes. No hunting, no trespassing, wharf resources. For access, contact. God darn it. I don't want to hunt. Can I at least trespass? Darn it. Yeah, and you can see the telephone wires. I bet you that goes to power the power plant over, to power the mine. Oh, darn it. Weekday, 7 a.m. You could go there, Clarey. Who's going to come down this road? Who's going to bother you? Hang on, let me take a look at the weather. All right, gotta get this going here. Anyway, I wanted to put together a little podcast while I was doing the road trip podcast while hiking, because I got to head down to Denver, spend some time, wait for my house to be finished, then come back and take occupancy of my house. And I only did 3 videos this morning, I think, and I just didn't have the time. I figured I'd kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And no, it's not a 3-hour me ranting and being philosophical. At least you get a little bit of something, a little bit of your heroin hit. I'm going to figure out whether I want to trespass on this thing or not. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.